Shabbat Shalom. We're in the third week of Bereshit, the book of the beginnings. And now we are in this portion called Lech Lecha. And to speak about this portion to a community like ours, you know, when we say, when we read the Ten Commandments, you know, the blessings that we have learned through the Ten Commandments, how wonderful it is, and we read it here. And our motto, or our slogan, if we can call it in this way, for a community, you know, Ki beiti beit tefillah, yikare lechol ha'amin. No, this will be called a house of, my house will be called a house of prayer for all the people, for all the nations. We are so proud of this community. Because in this little community, we have more nations than any other place, even bigger than ours. And each one of us, we bring our own background. You know, remember this. All of us, we bring our own background. What it means is all of us, we bring our own experiences. From the home that we come from the country that we come from, and from the groups, the ethnic groups that we come from. Each one of those backgrounds are forming backgrounds. And these forming backgrounds leave in you a mark. And that mark is over your head. And it's very difficult sometimes to get rid of that mark. Because you learned it when you were little, you know? And you always say, you know, my parents couldn't deceive me, my grandparents couldn't say me something wrong. And the truth of the matter, I don't think your parents trying to deceive you, neither your grandparents or anything like that. What they told you, that's what they believe. And why they believe it? Because they brought it from their parents and their parents and their parents. Then it's a tradition, it's continuation. But it gets a point in your life that you become an adult. You become a thinking person. And you don't, an adult, to me, starts 13 years old, and that is our traditions. You know, when you do your bar mitzvah and the boys. You become now an adult. What it means is you become responsible for yourself. You cannot any longer blame others or blaming your parents or whatever. It's you that now you are going to confront your own nature. And it's beautiful that the girls now, in certain groups, they have added the bat mitzvah at the age of 12 years old. Also, they become responsible for themselves. And that's wonderful. It's not any longer only the men is responsible, it's men and female, we're responsible. It's great. Well, but what it means that what I has eaten, you have inherited many things. Some good traits, some terrible traits. And when you are growing up, you need to be honest with yourself and say, this what my parents or from neighborhood or from my environment, this is not right. And at the moment that you stand up and you want to correct something that you have been in it, immediately come avalanche of detractors. People that are going to tell you, you have abandoned us, you have betrayed us, you are this and you are that. Because they are not capable, or they are lazy, or they don't want to see the truth. Because they are blinded. And that happens in every group. There is no one group, any group, there is no any community that they don't have that problem. Because my ways are the right ways, and the other ways are the wrong ways. Lech Lecha. Abraham Avinu is told by the Creator, go for yourself. Lech Lecha. It's very difficult to translate the Lech Lecha in English. Let me tell you. But the idea is that you go for yourself. That means you are going to separate from the people that you are attached. In other words, leave father, mother, and everything that is holding you and go on your own. And this community, especially this community, understand that better than anybody else, because many of us, we have left all that we have behind us, and we have come to a new world. And we left everything that was comfortable and was known to us. We knew the rules in the back. But we come to a place that has new rules, new ways, new ideas, new things. And what do we need to do? First of all, there is an inner struggle. I used to do it this way. But here they do it in another way. Why do I do? I compromise or don't compromise. I follow or don't follow. Until they tell you that there is a law. And if you break the law, you go to jail. And then you start conforming because there are consequences if you don't do it. Even that goes against your character and your form of way to think. You know, if you come from Latin America, that I came from, in Latin America, it's very interesting. I won't mention the country, but one time I was in this country and somebody was taking me from one place to another driving a car. You know, to drive in Latin America, it is already an adventure, you know, and it's very risky, to say the least. Then I have been in other countries. The one that scared me more than anyone, believe me, was in India, but no, I don't want to go there. I want to, and when I start driving in Israel, believe me, believe me. But I don't want to talk specifically because that was so funny to me. You know, there was a road with 3 carriers, 3 lines. You know, a road with 3 lines, and you had 5 lines of cars. Lanes, okay? The road was 3, 1, 2, and 3. And they had the lines. You know, you could see the lines. But the traffic were 5 lanes. Then I asked my friend, Rabbi. The Rabbi said, and I said, why here? Why they waste their time putting the lines, to paint the lines in white very nicely? And he said, oh, that is only decoration.
That's hilarious.
Okay, that was decoration, to look nice, the city. But you were not born there, or you didn't know the rules there. If you come from Canada, and you go to this country to drive, I can assure you that in less than 2 minutes, you leave the car in the middle and you jump and you run away. They have red lights sometimes. But the red light only indicates that you slow down and check there's no car coming and you cross. And they drive better without lights than with lights. And I say, how they cross each other? And they say, the one that's faster. Well, different world. Here you come, with the idea of driving from your country, and you want to impose your driving, and that's what happened here in Montreal. Sometimes you find people that you want to kill them. And you don't understand why they are driving like that. And then you say, they come from maybe they come from South America. You know, I don't want to mention other places that work, but that is only to give you an example. They have not yet followed the rules. And now, some rules are good, some rules are bad. But you know, when there is order, it's better than when there is disorder. And there are less accidents than other places, supposedly. But now, who cares? Here, Abraham Avinu is coming from a place where they had many gods. And they could believe in anything that they wanted. And you didn't have a God, you made your own God. You know, in case. Maybe for good luck or whatever, you know. That was your little thing, your talisman you will put in your pocket. And many people came with the idea. Let me read to you verse 5, okay? Verse 5 say to us, here, verse 5. ויקח אברהם את שרי אשתו, ואת לוט בן אחיו, ואת כל רכושם אשר רכשו בעת הנפש אשר עשו, בחרם ויצאו ללכת ארצה כנען. Okay, leave it at that. The word the point I want to make here is that when Abraham left with his wife Sarai and his nephew Lot, and with all his belongings, with everything that he had, Rachashu, no, everything that he had. And then he say here, in most of the translations he say, and with all the people that he acquired or he bought. In the Hebrew, what he say is, Hanefesh asher asu. With all the soul that he made. And what is very interesting here, it's not that he bought it. What is really the message here? He came out from that area, neighborhood, he say, go for yourself, and with the people who are going to follow him, or what is these people? These people had the same calling that he had. These people accepted Abraham Avinu understanding of the only one God. And for that reason already, those people, there were no blood of his blood, there were no seed of his seed, and there were no descendants of him, with the exception of Lot. Very interesting, with the exception of Lot, that was from his blood, from his people, from his relatives. They follow him because they believed what he believed. And they were a community. This idea that the Creator wants a place of prayer for all the nations is nothing new. After that, Abraham Avinu is going to be told that he is going to be the father of many nations. And then he says, who who bless you will be blessed, and who curse you will be cursed. But you are going to be a blessing to all the nations. And what are the people that he made? Who they were? They were already for many nations. From the beginning of the understanding about the formation that later on we are going to call it Israel, Kahila Israel, Kahal Israel. We are going to see that this is the idea that is portrayed and always given. It is an agglomeration of people. But all these people that have something in common. They have been called by the name of the Creator. And here say that Abraham called and Abraham, the Lord appeared to Abraham and he said, to your offspring I will give the land. Verse 7. So he built an altar and there to the Lord, and who appeared to him again. And from there he relocated to the mountains east of Bethel and pitched his tent with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. And he built it there an altar to the Lord. And he called the name of the Lord. And what is the name of the Lord there? The Tetragrammaton, Yud-He-Vah-He. People call it Jehovah, Yahweh, whatever you wanted to pronounce it. It's not about the pronunciation. It's about what was our understanding. You see, and this is something sad too. Our traditions sometimes are good, and our traditions sometimes are bad, even that they intended for good. Our sages have been giving this idea that to pronounce the name of God is wrong. And today, in every Orthodox system and Judaism, they don't dare to pronounce it. And if you go lower and lower, saying strictness, go from the conservatives to the reforms, to reconstructionists or other groups, then they are not as strict in that saying. But it's not what the men tell you, it's what the scriptures tell you. And something that Danny was talking this morning, what I like it, is about this. Most of the time, we fall in the trap of human interpretation instead to be biblical interpreted by the time and what the Creator was wanted to give. We read every morning the Ten Commandments. And what the Ten Commandments say about at the beginning, let me read it to you, because it's important. You say, why I made this jump? Because I want to show you what Abraham Avinu was trying to run away from, or trying to get away from. He say, he say, the third commandment, Lo tisa et Shem Adonai Elohecha, le'asha ki lo yinachke Adonai et asher yisa es shmo lashav. You shall not take the name of the Lord in vain. Okay? And what I hear is interesting. It's written here, Lo tisa es Adonai. We say, Lo tisa Shem Adonai. That is our tradition. But what is written here in the Hebrew language, and the divine revelation that the Creator gave us? Yehuvah, Yud-He-Vah-He. And what he's saying is that you cannot mention the name of God. What you cannot is use it in vain. You know, sadly enough, today, depending which religion you come, your country comes, or your area that you live, that comes, you know, the worst curses now, or to insult somebody, is to use the sacred things that there used to be for under your religion. The rabbi, they say, they're trying to avoid that name will be misused. And doing that, they put a note. Nobody can pronounce it. Going against what the scriptures say. Then, when Abraham Avinu, when he was told, go for yourself, leave all your people, and I'm going to show you where you need to go. That was a great challenge for him, because he needed to walk literally by the voice of the Creator leading him. May I ask you this question? How did he know that was the Creator who was talking to him and not was something else? How he was sure that was the Creator? Maybe he was schizophrenic and he was listening to something that was not right. Because you're going to see that in all his embarkment, that he left his place, the journey that he took, every time that he was going, that he knew that the presence of the Creator, the Shekinah, was there behind him all the time. Now, it's interesting that we had this idea about Abraham Avinu, that he was so perfect and so Superman, like say then, and it's totally the contrary. Something that I marvel about the scriptures is about all our heroes of the faith, without exception. They are very human. And not only they are very human, but they have committed a lot of mistakes. They have done things that they didn't need to do. You know, everybody talks about Abraham Avinu, the super faith man. And the first thing that we see in this passage, in this verse portion, Sarai, please tell them that you are my sister, because they're going to kill me. Super faith. And later on, he's going to repeat it again. Super faith. And his son is going to do the same. The good qualities are passed through. And why? Why the Torah speaks so clear about that? So bluntly we can say. Is because the Torah wants to teach us that the Creator works with human beings like us. Not with Supermans. And I say to you, he came with a group of people. And only in this group of people, one that was blood of his blood was his nephew Lot. And you would expect that because the blood of his blood will be the most perfect one. And you saw what Lot did. And later on, Abraham Avinu, in this moment, in this portion, he goes to war. With only his men that he had, 318 men, to fight 4 kings. And he beat him up and he brought everything back and rescued his son, his nephew, Lot. And later on, we are going to see in the next Vayera, we are going to see how he also interceded for him in Sodom. Now, who was Lot? not only his nephew. He was blood of his blood. And I am sure that he knew what his Uncle Abe knew. You know, and he had heard him talking about the only one God and the true God and everything else. And because his blood of his blood, they need to be better than the others. And we can read that one of his servants, Eliezer, was much better, more faithful than his own nephew. What the Torah is trying to teach us in these portions, he's not trying to teach us about to be heroes, but he's trying to show us that we need to be faithful, to continue doing what we have called to be done, do. And this is very important term about the calling. All of you in this place, you have a calling on your own. And you need to make that calling fruitful. Give it to others. Show it to others. Doesn't mean that you convert others, because you cannot convert anybody. Nobody can convert anybody. You know, I am totally against those religions that convert. Convert me to what? You know? It's like he made them. How he made them? He talked to them. And then those ones who accepted and followed, understood, follow him. Those who not, they left. All of us, we have the responsibility to give account of our beliefs. That doesn't mean that everybody is going to accept it or going to believe it. But at least we are clear who we are. And it's not holier than thou, or I am better than you. Totally the contrary. They need to see us as human beings, like we see our heroes of the faith in the scripture. No one was perfect. It's only men who trying to make them Supermans. You know, one time, somebody was talking to me about King David. How great king and the more wonderful. And say, do you know what happened with Bathsheba? Bathsheba, not Bathsheba, Bathsheba. Moment, but he was perfect. You know, if we want to make somebody perfect, we make it perfect. We have our idols. But in Judaism, biblical Judaism, there are no idols. There is only one God. That's it. And everybody else as human beings as anybody else. No one is better than the other. We are all has our function and to what to do. And this is why Abraham Avinu needed to leave his place, to be on his own, and not to be overwhelmed by their own traditions. And today, sadly enough, we are almost overwhelmed by traditions of men instead to look at the scriptures. And sometimes today we need to depart from the institutionalized religions because they have been corrupted themselves. Not because you talk about God means that God is with you. It's about living a life that is constantly in what we call it in a process. You grow, sometimes you go a step forward, sometimes you go a step backwards. And that helps you to be better. There is no perfection in us. But there is the capability to do better. This is the reason that the Creator talks to us about Teshuvah, to return, to come back to Him. And look at how in the work with Abraham Avinu, the Creator never abandoned him. Totally the contrary. When he does something wrong, the Creator is there to cover him up and to bring it back. In this week, we are going to see, in this portion, we are going to see about the situation with Hagar. Many of our sages tell us that because of that mistake, we still have big problems with our cousins or our brothers, half brothers. Because the Ishmaelites, they don't love us. And that was because a good desire of Abraham Avinu's wife to give a hand to God to solve the problem of no inheritance. Well, how he's going to do it? It's not possible. Well, I'm going to give a hand. I'm going to give my maid to Abraham Avinu. Well, Abraham Avinu was happy. It was okay, give it to me. I'm sure. No, I won't suffer for that. But what were the consequences? When you do something outside the will of God, there are consequences. And now we have Ishmael. And then after all that desire that Sarai converted in Sarah, chapter 17, after the covenant of the parts, first in 15, and then the Brit Milah in 17, the covenant of the people of Israel, from Abraham to Abraham, and from Sarai to Sarah, she started questioning about what she did. What she didn't wait. Because Sarah had a super faith, or didn't have super faith, and Abraham Avinu, who with his super faith failed to have faith. There are certain religions that they teach you, it's your faith who is going to save you. I say faith doesn't save anybody. But what the Creator always is looking at you is at your left, your heart, and your kavanah, your intention. And we can see that even with their mistakes, their intentions were good. There was no evil. It was the desire of reparation in their own ways. In this little portion, we learn so many things that it's almost impossible to tell you about all the things that we can learn. But one thing that is very clear, Abraham Avinu was no Superman. Abraham Avinu was no the holy man that we want to make it to be. He was a human being with a great courage and established a journey because he had the turpitude, he had the desire to follow the God that has revealed to him. And here I'm going to give you something that maybe sounds a little controversial for certain people. Most of the people say that I decided who God is. Some people say, I arrived to my own understanding, my own knowledge, my own wisdom, and now I know who the true God is. I want to tell you something. Sorry for those who say, thinking, I arrived to that. It's the Creator who comes to you, not you to the Creator. You only what you do is you respond. Shema Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Hear, obey Israel, the Lord is one. That's when I respond. When I see the giving the tablets, bringing the 10 Commandments in the Har Sinai, and we say we do and we obey. Because we have seen the Creator acting, not before. That's where Abraham Avinu responded to the Creator, because he had a revelation from the Creator. Not because he was better than anybody else, or he was very smart and the other were not too smart. Like the Midrashim, they're trying to teach you that he was very little and very young, and he already knew that there was only one God, and the statues they couldn't be God, and then he broke all the statues, and then his entire Terach came to his business, and he saw all the statues broken, and he said, "Who has done that?" And young Abraham said to his daddy Terach, I say, they start fighting against each other because one wanted to say better than the other. And the father Terach said to him, these are statues that cannot move.
They're not alive.
They are not alive. He knew. The question is not about knowing things. The question is acting upon the calling that you have. How many people say, I believe? And what it means, I believe. If you believe, you need to put in action. And that's the Bechira. And the Bechira, which is the free will, you know? The bitachon, trust on that. Well, let me ask you a simple question to all of us. Are we followers or are we leaders? Followers are bound to follow men. Leaders when you follow God. May the Lord bless you. Have a wonderful Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.